Hello and welcome. I'm running out of storage space on my PC, so I've had to choose between a hard drive or a solid state drive. Although the solid state drive is more expensive, it will improve my PC's performance. So that fact in itself has made my decision for me.
We researched the best products for this project and decided on the Samsung 860 EVO Solid State Drive and a caddy to hold it in place. We ordered them from Amazon and they've arrived today. So we've cloned the SSD and we're now ready to remove the hard drive from our PC and replace it with the 860 EVO Solid State Drive. We've prepared the area that we're going to be working on the computer. Firstly, we've made sure that the screen is protected and we've got a nice clean cloth so that no dirt or debris will go into the computer once we've taken the back off it. There are 4 screws, to this end, 2 here. Notice we've had to open the CD drive first. Remember to do that before you unplug it all. Then there are 4 corner screws, all with a rubber grommet first. So Ian's going to show you that you just remove the grommet and then underneath is a screw, and that's in each corner. We've already loosened some of the screws just to save time while we're filming, and we've now got a magnet that is going to draw the screws out. Just leave them somewhere very obvious so that they can be picked up and popped back in later, like you're not looking around for them. All this of course takes a little bit of time and some thought in the preparation. We've also got the lighting right so that we can see what we're doing, and it's best that there are 2 of you around if you've got a good friend who can help. Now the stand also has to be removed, and it has 2 little covers that need to just be flicked with a screwdriver. And then the bracket itself is again 4 screws to loosen and then remove the leg. This is all to allow us to take the back off the computer. It's all preparation.
Find it after.
You might make the odd mistake, you just cope with it and get on with it. So that's the leg removed, the stand removed. If we can just see that screw that's popped in, but we can't at the moment, so that's fine. So we've now got to prise the case off, and there's a little technique. We've got a couple of little gadgets just to separate the back from the front of the casing. Just it's ready. Andrew, you don't want to take this bit off too much, will you?
I need to get it far enough up. There's nothing else holding it in place, I don't think.
You haven't left a screw anywhere.
No, I can't say.
That isn't anything.
Oh yes, you've just spotted them. Well done. I knew there was something there. Yeah, when you think you know what you're doing, there's always something hidden.
So there you are. If you can't quite hear us there, we've taken the stand off, and there's 2 more screws within this compartment that we have missed taking out before trying to remove the lid. We've loosened the lid, that's fine, but just Stood back for a second there and realised there was something we'd missed.
At least we didn't just hack at it. We were gentle and firm, but now, if
there we go.
It's more like it, isn't it?
Now, something this end, we have to be careful not to lift the lid right off. I'm not 100% sure what it's called. I'm sure Ian will clarify it in a moment.
Well, it's a DVD player. And no, it's this end.
Is it?
Yeah.
The camera the wrong end then.
We have, haven't we? So, yes, there's a slim SATA connection, and I can pull that off. What I'm going to do is just bring the camera around here, just to let you see what the problem is. So, I'm going to take it off its stand. So I'm switching it off for a second. So we have a slim SATA connection onto the DVD tray over there, and I'm just going to pop that off, and there is another wire.
The light's just come on.
It doesn't matter. And there's another wire that will need to be either disconnected or will just hold the case up while we continue to work. So I'm going to pop my hand in and pull that SATA cable, slim SATA cable off, and then we can lift this lid up.
You'll notice we've made a slight modification to the support this end. It's to protect this drawer here where the CDs and DVDs go. Ian's now just going to disconnect that wire that he was talking about a moment ago, and I'm now in charge of this end because it can't stay up on its own.
Let go, Jen.
Oh, I'm allowed to let go just a minute.
Just a second. There we go.
Excellent.
Right, so you can see the CD tray here, and that was where the SATA cable that I just released connected, but it's slim SATA. So now I've got to take this tape off the hard drive. And use it again at the end of this process. And I'll put it out of the way. And then I've got to remove the drive here. So what we've got little screws holding the caddy, and I've got screws in here. So I think what I'll do is take these little screws out. I need my screwdrivers, which happen to be on the other side of the table, and I bring them round. Let's just see what size screws we've got. There we go. Tiny little screws. I've got to keep my eye on them and just keeping everything close to where they've come from so that we know where to put everything back. But if you shut the CD drawer, then you have to have the power on, and you have to be actually in the Windows program to release that catch. So that's why we're trying to leave it as it is, so that the CD drawer doesn't shut, or we struggle getting the screws back in. So now that is off, I should be able to get rid out of this next SATA cable, which is here at the front. And I'm giving it a bit of a pull. Amazing how tight these things can be. There we are. And that is the drive, and that drive is going to go into that caddy. So what I have to do now is put the Samsung SSD in its place. And here we have it. It's much smaller and all I need to do is screw it down somewhere in place on here. Now that's interesting. I thought it would screw in there. It looks like I'm going to have to screw it to this enclosure. It's a learning process for everybody. So what I'm going to have to do is screw that into here and then that down onto there. So that means screwing this. Yes, I think we could do.
This is the old drive that we've now taken out of the fittings here, and we've put the new SSD in its caddy and screwed it into the brackets that will be held in place in the computer. Look at the difference in size, it's quite surprising. I'm going to pop that out of the way, and I'm then going to give Ian this new piece of merchandise, and I'm holding the lid again.
So I'm just going to put this SATA 3 connection in to the new Samsung. That's it.
Lovely.
That's it. It's just a little bit fiddly. Now, I've got to see what I'm doing. That's it. To work out where the screws line up. Over here, screws. Tiny little screws, that's why you can't see them. And I need the right size screwdriver. This might be too big, let's just check. It might just do.
This one behind you, a blue one, that might be what you use.
This will do it. Yep, that's it. Just put it in slightly so that I can use the magneticness of the screwdriver. That's it. Then just a little bit of magnetic attraction makes all the difference. So I can lift the caddy up, put the screw in, feel for its position. Not right down yet. Lift the caddy up. Oops. Get the screw in by lifting it up. And then make things secure. And it's all nice and safe. These ollie ones are just basically very large laptops, and you take laptops with you and you can actually virtually take these with you. In fact, if you have an inverter, good quality inverter, you can take these camping with you. We'll show you in a video. Now we've got that in place, the SATA 3. This is a very fast SATA 3 connection. This slim SATA is quite slow. It's about a quarter of the speed of this, but it's only connected to this optical drive. And what I need to do now is get Janet to gradually drop it down until I can get this back in that connector there. That's it. Keep going, keep going. That's it, keep going. A bit more. Now, in place, it was a little bit tight and a bit fiddly, but just a bit of effort and you get it in place, and it's just a case now of putting everything back together.
I would just like to point out before Ian says that we did retrieve the screw that fell in when we were taking the leg off. Don't think we've forgotten, we haven't. We've made a few mistakes, but we've remembered that one.
Right, so now A man that's never made a mistake has never made anything.
Does this not want to click?
It will click as I screw it together.
Alright, okay.
So we've just got to put all the screws back in.
Gosh, these are tiny little things, aren't they?
Yeah,
From
yes.
the grommet ones.
Can't put these two in, unfortunately.
Yes, because we let the CD drawer close, which was one of the things I advised you not to do. But we've done it, so we will, once we've got this up and running again, switched on, logged in, we will be able to eject the drawer, and then we can put the two screws back in. It's just unfortunate it clicked shut during one of these little operations of reconnecting everything. I'll switch it off while you're just doing all this.
Yeah. Now I'm going to put these little stoppers back in place because we've got all the screws in all the way around except for the ones that we can't here. And there's a correct way to get these in. They are like a wedge shape and the highest bit goes in that way. So that's one in, get the correct way around. That's two in, that they've never been taken out. And that one is another one in. And that one goes that way. And I think I'll just do this one the right way around. That's more like it. I could just see an impression of the screw. So now we need the two screws for here, which is just a Phillips screwdriver. Now these are a little bit fiddly, so what I'm going to do...
Use that one. I think you use the bigger
what
one.
I'm going to do is use a magnet to help me here. So just going to remind me where the magnet is. Actually, it's better with that. And I'm just going to put the magnet on that screwdriver.
Oops.
See, yeah. And to put the magnet on that screwdriver, and that will help me get it in the hole. I'd be careful where you use a magnet around a computer, but we're well away from anything that it's going to affect, and it just stops me having to take everything to bits again to get in the back to retrieve that screw.
I don't know why we've got 3 minutes.
And I'll just move that up to there. There we go. And that just makes it easier. If you've got a well magnetised screwdriver, it's much easier. So the next thing is to put the stand back on, which goes there. It's got 4 screws. Right. Again, I'll use that magnetic trick. And again, I'm going to use the magnet. And because we have all the screws in the right place, yeah, now that one dropped off. But, because we have the screws in the right place, they're easy to find off the table, and you don't get the wrong screw in the wrong place. That's it. The last one is here. Quite a handy little tool this if you get something down behind a radiator or something, you can't get to it and it's ferrous metal, you can always retrieve it. So the next thing is to put these covers back on in place.
What needs doing first?
Pardon?
What needs doing first?
Right. So I need to do this one first, I'm told. I always do what I'm told. There we go. And
Point out the two screws.
the two missing screws that we can't get back in because we let the drawer shut.
That's right.
And I'll put the dongle back in, which will help us start the computer up. And I'm going to choose to put it in there, that's where it lives. And that is how you take it apart and put it back together. With a new SSD, Samsung very fast super drive. So the proof of the pudding is in the eating, so they say. So we've got to start the computer up so that we can get those screws back in. And once it's started up, this is when you keep your fingers crossed. I've got to put the password in. So far, so good. While it's learning its new environment. And the next thing I need is my password, which I'll put in now. Eject is going to be that. And now, all I need to do, I've magnetised the screwdriver a bit more. Hopefully it will allow me to get these screws in. That went in quite easily. It's just that trick with a bit of magnetism. And that's gone in very easily. So it wasn't such a big problem. And now I can close the tray. If you want to know how we cloned the SSD, what products we used, and how it has changed our PC, read the video description and use the YouTube cards at the end of this video. Thank you.